force plates, high level stuff. I'm fired up. This is what I came for.
Double plate ready.
My goodness, Neil.
You just need to carry the force plates with you.
You might have stretched me out a little bit in there too.
Back to my college football days. The thing I think I miss most about college football is the training room. Just like stuff to make you feel better. I'd always like the human guinea pig. Like, yeah, man, test it out on me. Let me try that. This is right up my alley. And Cody said that to me when he came back, like the day after he got home. He was like, "This is your shit." Was basically what he said. You gotta get out there. So I was like, okay, I'm in. Sign me up.
All right, Neil. Well, I want to start with some of the basics first. All right, let's do it. We're gonna do it right here.
Yeah, my 3 wishes were, I don't think my swing is efficient. I feel like I have a high club head speed, but it doesn't translate sometimes to like a high ball speed.
So first wish would be a more efficient swing.
Yes.
So my second wish was like, I want to know what it feels like to hit a draw.
You a cut player?
I am a cut player. And I don't necessarily want to play a draw. I just feel that I'm constantly fighting an over-the-top swing.
And then the third one was simple. Like, I don't want to let the old man in.
I'm 35, and I feel
Father
like...
time? How do we kill father time?
Yeah, or fight him.
You know, when I run too much, like, yeah, my knees start to get sore these days. And my hips specifically just get really tight.
You know when you leave a coat out in the cold, and it kind of like gets crunchy? That's kind of how I wake up every morning. Very tight and all down like in here.
You know, I remember going through my injury history.
My left shoulder, especially across here, it'll kind of catch. I have a fused L4 and L5 lumbar. This is self-diagnosis, but I think I probably have a torn labrum in my hip.
Just getting deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yeah.
I hate the idea that my body's breaking down.
God, these awkward motions, man.
Is there pain?
It's not pain, it's just like burning. Right. Yeah, this is not, that's no.
And if I kept going, it was...
Well, it's just like my body's already ready for it. Like,
yeah,
no.
I could see by going more, you're gonna punch me.
Yeah.
You know, I think it just like reminds me that like, damn it, you know what? I don't have a lot of mobility in this right hip, and that might be a problem.
I want to see you just do the twist, but don't move your shoulders. I'm telling you right now, one of the #1 causes of outside in is you can't do this.
Okay.
And I saw a lot of upper body movement right there. Right. Now, guys that go outside in love to just move their upper body, not their lower body. Don't move your lower body and just move your upper body. Yeah, that's a lot easier. You agree?
Yes.
Again, your brain's gonna take the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
It likes that. Think about that. Why would that cause outside in? Get the top of the backswing. Best players in the world, what goes first?
Hips.
Now, as the lower body goes, the club drops.
Yeah.
If these are connected,
yeah.
it's very common. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Very, very, very
That
common.
second move looked a lot like mine.
I think I went to TPI this year at a good time of like, all right, man, we got to be more conscious of this.
Next combine station, 3-cone shuttle.
When's the Wonderlick?
So you're gonna make us do the Wonderlick upstairs?
There are places with force plates and places with this kind of technology, but they just have such a head start on everybody with the amount of data that they can compare it to.
So the cool thing about what we're doing right here is we've tested our entire tour staff on this. We can give you an idea of like, what's average push strength, pull strength with the players and where you are.
Like my hip rotation versus the other 5,000 people that have rolled through there.
Pretty similar, right?
Yeah.
Problem is that's about half the distance that's normal.
You know, so they've done a really good job of creating this like data archive that Dr. Rose can just pull up whenever. It's like literally every player you've ever heard of.
Okay. I think I got a pretty good idea of what you can and can't do.
You picked up some good stuff at the crime scene?
I've seen some, there's some evidence that might be able to help us. Yeah.
You cased the place pretty good. We may have the hit, we may have found the murder weapon.
There's hair follicles.
I know who pulled the trigger, who drove the car, who planned all this. We got some ideas. So. Get ready for golf. Make sure your bags are in here. Let's get your clubs. Let's go.
Brought a freshie.
Just to back up, Dr. Greg, what a fascinating cat. Okay, he's an engineer by trade, but then he's a chiropractor, but he grows his own food and lives on a farm in Arkansas.
What you're about to go through is gold standard type of stuff, but we got some really cool experimental stuff. We're always tinkering, learning. The more you learn, the more you realize you don't know anything.
I didn't know he was a chiropractor till like we were about to leave. I was like, I wish I could get a couple pops in. Like I'm a big chiropractor video guy, I mean, hand up, man. I'm a weirdo, right? I'm one of those guys.
You said stop father time, right? There's lots of research here, lots of research.
So some guys like that though that are clearly brilliant, they can get impatient with other people because you're not picking up the concepts as quickly. He matches that intellect with the patience of a high school history teacher.
We used to believe you lose flexibility as you get older.
Yeah.
And we used to say
After 26, right? They said you can't get more flexible.
Here's what
after
I'll
the
tell
age
you.
of 26.
At 43
Sure.
is when stuff starts to fall apart.
Okay.
Okay? If you don't do something.
Sure.
That's just the magic number. I don't know why I've been in this business long enough.
Yeah.
All of a sudden stuff tears, things break,
Yeah.
stuff at 43. For every decade you're alive, we used to say that's what percent of your program should be mobility based, so
Okay.
you don't lose it. So if you're 70% of your workout should be mobility. We know you can get mobility back. Some of the latest research shows after the age of 60, if you lose strength, we can't get it back.
Okay.
So it's almost become a bigger focus now. We're going, well, we can't lose that. Like
Yeah.
so you got to do both because you can lose both as you get older there.
He's a teacher at heart. Like a few times he's like, "Are you following me?" And then he would just, "Okay, let me try it this way."
PGA Tour average, if I was going to like put a horsepower number, right? They've got a 23 horsepower lower body. They've got a 22 horsepower core and a 22 horsepower upper body, right? So Neil, on you, you're going to be a 21. You're going to be a 20.5, and you're going to be like a 22.75. So notice, more upper body power than average PGA Tour, but core's the weakest, but not bad.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing about him was like, he reminded me so much of Daniel Craig in the movie Knives Out.
We'll go driver, 6-iron, and then we'll probably do a little finesse shot.
Double plate ready.
Because we were kind of joking around of like, oh, he's, you know, the assessment was like the crime scene. You know, he's like, yeah, I found the murder weapon.
Oh no. Like, I don't know how to describe. It's like that's a normal miss. Like feels like I'm a little unbalanced, over the top. You know, all my self-diagnosis in one there.
You could tell it's like, oh, I know what's going on here. But it's like, I'm not going to tell you until the end of the movie.
Well, now you just answered genie number 3, why out to in versus in to out. So that's good. So I know why you're doing that.
Well, I just solved the mystery, but I'm not going to tell you yet.
That's right.
I'm going to lay it all out in a
That's it.
monologue here in
That's
about
it.
10 minutes. Oh yeah, no, I know who killed him. I'm just not going to tell you guys yet. God, it's so crazy. I might be in the Matrix now. Go from, yeah, I'm a field guy to just becoming the data boy. Yeah.
A good one?
Yeah, very good one. That's an accurate miss. Be a good one to see.
I feel like those were 6 very accurate
Yes,
swings.
I gave you the full menu
Neil
there.
Schuster experience.
I got what I need.
Okay.
This is easy. Get all this stuff off. Now we'll start talking. There are planing mechanisms. So this club goes on a plane, right? It goes around. I can manipulate that plane by wrist, big time. My wrist range of motion can change this plane in a million different directions. Shoulders can change the plane a lot, right? Posture can change the plane a lot, right? So can rocking.
Okay.
Rocking can change. So what most players do is they get up here, they step into the pitch, and then they rock. Now when they do this, the club shallows early. Now from here, they start to twist. You'll
Yeah.
see twist, and then they jump. And you'll see the club exit left. But that's, the way I like to think of it is they shallow early, steepen late.
Okay.
They don't, back to your genie question, is they don't typically twist first and then try and shallow late to save it, right? That's where it creates some problems. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So the normal kinetic sequence is lateral, rock, twist, jump. So the first thing I always look at is I go, what do you do, right?
Yeah.
So let's take a look at that first.
He's got like, I don't know, 30 different charts up there. Like the 3D graphics are matched up with the force plates, and like you have to have a Sherpa to guide you through the data.
You can see the first yellow dot is the top one, lateral.
Yeah.
That's what we see with the best players in the world, right?
So I'm moving to my left.
You're moving to your left. Now those are pretty damn close. Rock and twist are pretty close.
Yeah.
Okay. And then vertical, right? So
Yeah.
that was actually the normal sequence.
Having the information and having him explain like, no, this is just like the black and white physics of it is like that's fascinating.
One of the things that we've learned with the best players in the world, they do these ground reaction forces early in their swing, so they have time to transfer the energy to the club. Now, see where the shaft is?
Yeah.
Most of our tour staff do that before the shaft goes past vertical.
Wow.
So you're about 4 clicks after. That's not bad,
Okay.
right? In general, most amateurs are way too late.
Yeah.
So you've got the right sequence, close. It's a little late, not bad. Now let's see how much you create.
Yeah, access to the technology, but then access to somebody that knows how to use it is like, that's the holy grail.
Okay, the top number, the 18.78. What that means is when you push at your maximum from right to left, you're pushing at 18.78% of your body weight. You're 29% of your body rocking and rolling, you're 19% of your body twisting, and you're 153% of your body vertical jump.
But then just having the archive of data, right? Like that's like serious IP of like, now you have benchmarks.
So the average on tour is 23, 21, 19. Little low on lateral. You're a big rock and roller over here, which for someone who goes over the top, usually they're twisters, not rock and rollers, right? Your average twist on PGA Tour, which is not average, that's great, twist over here. Now we get to vertical, 153. Average on tour is 200%. It's not 198%. The biggest weakness right here is vertical force on you, right, by far.
Now you can compare like, okay, we know that the top golfers have this power process. Well, we know that because we have 5,000 sessions in this computer.
The red is the lower body, okay? It's measuring degrees per second. It's like RPMs, measuring how fast your lower body is rotating. What I should see is your lower body should, as it goes up, you're accelerating. Lower body should go fast. Energy should transfer to the trunk, it should go faster, the green. Energy should transfer to the arms, blue, it should go faster. Energy should transfer from the arms to the club, it should go the fastest.
Chain reaction.
Chain reaction.
So like that's a head start that like somebody else, if they wanted to start from scratch, just can't get there.
Here's yours. Okay, so I look at this and I go, okay, red goes over here, green goes faster, blue goes faster. I see the transfer. There's something wrong with green. Green peak first. It's low, it's early. I'm like, why the hell is he doing this? Normally what we're gonna see is this is gonna accelerate first, then it's gonna transfer to here, then it's gonna transfer to here. You get over here and you're kind of, I'm telling you out loud what I'm thinking as we're going through and I'm looking at the data. I'm going, all right, sequence looked pretty good. Doesn't have a lot of vertical force, but it wasn't like he twisted really early with his lower body. Then I get here and I'm like, why is your trunk doing that? Like, why is your trunk twisting? Like, there's no reason for this to do this. Like the forces are going good from the lower body. And then I see this. Then we see the murder weapon. There's the murder weapon.
This is why I loved working with him, because he was talking in analogies. He's like speaking my language.
I imagine I'm in Hawaii, I'm on a beach, right? It's perfect weather. Somebody sets up a hammock between 2 palm trees and I'm sitting right over the water. Here's palm tree 1, palm tree 2, here's the hammock, here's the water. Your ass is underwater, right? And every time I see the ass under the water, I'm like, uh-oh. It does to your trunk what your trunk's doing. Now let me explain what ass underwater means. Right? This is what we call trunk bend. When I set up to hit, I am bending forward, right? Most players bend around 35 degrees, a 35-foot palm tree. They bend around 35 degrees, right? When I get to the top of the backswing, how much bend do they have still?
The same amount?
Okay, if I unrotate, I want you to see this. I am not bent forward anymore. I'm actually standing straight up in the air. I replace, here's side bend, here's side bend. If I take side bend and I rotate, that's what players look like. If I stayed bent, it would look like this. Okay, it's just weird. It's because I'm rotating, I got rid of the bend, but I replaced it with side bend. Okay, so normally players will extend in the backswing. They'll start at 35 degrees and they'll get to maybe 1 or 2 degrees. They stay right above the water, 1 or 2 degrees. You went to 12 to 15 this way. You went underwater, back over here. Now if I do this and I rotate, my trunk is leaning towards the target now versus over here.
I'm a reverse spine angle, like a camouflaged reverse spine angle guy, which was like, whoa.
If I go from the middle of my belt to the middle of my head, you're pointing towards the target. Most players are pointing away from the target. Now this doesn't seem like a big deal. It's everything. Right? Because what happens here is if I go lower body than trunk, my God, I'm so over the top, it's crazy, right? So I'll be so this way. So what most players do is they start and they go, oh my God, I'm crazy, and they go, I gotta fix this, and they go rock, boom, this way and try and bring it down.
That sounds,
which is what you do.
That feels right.
So you're saving yourself from where you are at the top. And one of the things you do that, like I said, is you have this big rock, right, which can kill the lower back. I mean, kill the lower back.
Yeah, it's not good. He was like, yeah, man, I mean, you can hit the ball great, but like, you're gonna it's a ticking time bomb. You're gonna blow your back out.
It destroys backs. It's not if, it's when. Because what you have to do is you have to get out of this, and it creates this excessive side bend. And that's what it creates spondies. It creates all those problems, right?
My 3 wishes kind of got upset by like, well, let me add a 4th wish. Don't blow my back out.
Yeah, like when you say that I have the reverse spine angle, like I've never seen that before. And that's interesting to me. Like I agree with you. I'm not like, but it's like, man, I never even considered that was my issue.
I wasn't expecting this one.
Yeah.
Right, you surprised me. When I see like -2 or 3, I start getting a little concerned.
Yeah.
-13, I'm like, dude, your back's going down. It's not if, it's when.
Okay.
Okay, so we have to fix that.
Gotta retire.
Yeah.
Fix it or retire.
Like you said, you asked the genie, how do I stay young? I'm like, that is not how you stay young.
Okay.
Yeah. We're good on the wishes. Let's take care of the body first.
So I think there's 2 things we need to do, right, for you, just to kind of sum this all up.
Okay.
Right? First of all, it makes a lot of sense what you asked the genie for. Right?
Okay.
I would say on the first one, how do I make a more efficient swing? I think you create the force pretty efficiently.
Yeah.
You start to create a force. We can make more vertical here, right?
Yeah.
But it's not bad. But you don't efficiently transfer it through your body properly. The reason you can't is your trunk's in the wrong position at the top.
Okay.
You have to correct before you can do it.
Yeah.
Right? So we've got to get, number 1, we've got to fix your spine angle. So I think we gotta fix that so that you can use that good force that you're using on the ground. And then I think we got to teach you a little vertical.
The biggest aha moment I got was at the end of my session, he had me doing I think he was calling it like the electric fence drill.
Electric fence is right there.
Yeah.
I want you to reach over and grab something on the other side of the fence, but don't touch the fence. Good. Now notice your trunk is leaning way away from the target.
Yeah.
Now just rotate, keep rotating. Okay, now start your downswing and spin. That's what it feels like. Dave Phillips, our co-founder here, he describes, he's like, you got an extension cord here, and most players, when they set up, they plug them in.
Okay.
And they're gonna keep plugged. If you unplug, you go into reverse.
Okay.
You unplug
God, that's
a lot.
like the opposite of what I've always thought you should do.
I've always thought about having an arched back like as good posture. Like in football, it's like, bow your neck, kid, get your ass down and keep your head up and like arch your back when you make a tackle. And so I've always addressed the golf ball the same way with like that athletic stance, as a coach would say.
Arch your back as much as you can. Now flatten your back as much as you can. Now arch your back as much as you can. Now go halfway in the middle. It probably feels a little more tucked to you, but that's neutral.
Yeah.
That's where you should be.
Okay.
It's one thing to be doing something wrong. It's another thing to be doing something wrong when you thought the opposite was right. It's like, how has no one told me that this was like not a good posture?
What's going to become very obvious to you right now is your physical restrictions. Here's your fake turn. Watch this. Okay. Okay. Now you watch me right now. Here's what I did. All I did is I reverse spine, arched my back, and went this way. Right? There was no turn.
Yeah.
You just went this way. Right? Now all of a sudden you're like, I got to turn. And you're like, oh, that's as far as I can turn.
Yeah.
You're like, holy crap. Almost, looked like half the swing.
Yeah.
But you'll actually create more power doing this.
I was like, whoa, that is like truly kind of blew my mind.
The more we make this more range of motion, this won't feel like it stops you from turning.
Yeah.
Now, set up like your hip one more time. Turn your right foot out. Even more. Keep your core locked in and turn. Freedom.
Yeah.
I want you to understand, when I take away range one way, I can give you range back somewhere else.
Okay.
As we build this range of motion for hip and side, turning your right foot out might help you.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does. Well, I've just been making fun of Solly for the last 6 months about looking like Mr. Penguin because he sets up like this now.
There's a reason
So I'm gonna have to be
A lot
humble.
of guys with hip range of motion, we call them penguins. They like, you set up like that because it's freedom. This is the brake pedal. This is your gas pedal. You just keep going. This is your brake pedal. This will keep things connected over here. I feel like that's your key for not being over the top. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, now that's backswing, maintaining spine angle. I think that'll give you the feel. You'll be like, oh my God, like the plane is so different. Vertical's a whole different ballgame. Somebody sways 2 inches to the right, I'll have them practice going 2 inches to the left so that they don't move.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do the complete opposite, and you're gonna go, there's no freaking way. I'm not saying, I just want you to feel the complete opposite.
Okay.
Let me see just a little squat and jump. Okay, now notice when you do a squat, your arms go down, and your legs go down, and then as you jump up, your arms go up and your legs go up. Golf's the opposite.
Okay.
As you squat, your arms go up, and as you jump, your arms go down. Good, do that again.
Jumping up while you're throwing your hands down is a little bit at first like patting your head and rubbing your stomach.
You're gonna go over your top shoulder, and as you jump, you're gonna drive your arms. Good, do it again.
It's crazy, man. It really was eye-opening. How we can all, as humans, like not understand the physics of generating that power because it is counterintuitive.
Arms went early. Ooh, that was nice. Do that again. Okay, now connect. Let's put the two together. Legs, legs. Drive the arms.
See, that's so awkward.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Can we open that?
And so that feeling of pushing through your left foot is at first very awkward, but it's in there.
Throw a ball.
Okay.
Do you feel that? Do you feel the left foot helping drive that?
Yes.
Once your brain feels it, you're like, oh, actually, I do understand what this is all about now.
Feel like you're gonna jump that way. Yeah, keep going.
Double plate ready.
In my opinion, you can't do enough of this.
Okay.
I said vertical averages 200 on tour.
Yeah.
Right. It's only 240 now. It was 150.
Yeah.
Remember I said, I just want you to understand, you're at 150. I showed you 240.
Yeah.
If you're at 190, it'd be great. You should train it so that somewhere in the middle feels comfortable, but now you're not doing what you did before.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does.
So I like, what you're gonna see is you're gonna see a lot of these drills where like medicine ball stuff where you're using your legs, the vertical, to drive your arms.
Okay.
And then we're gonna put your trunk in a position where your legs can drive your arms.
Okay. All of this makes sense to me. This is
Okay, cool.
This is enlightening stuff. This is. That was eye-opening. I did not have. I just didn't. You don't know what you don't know. And I felt very seen when he was like, "I'm creating a fake turn." I didn't really know that was bad though. I was like, "Oh no, I'm getting more depth in my backswing." Right. So step one, like let's get the spine in a better position. So because I'm, my back has been really sore after golf a few times this year where I'm like, why is my back sore? That's not good. I mean, it's kind of scared straight up. Like, oh, whoa, I didn't even realize that was like a problem, I guess that's what happens when you just kind of home grow your swing for 10 years.
The biggest takeaway was you need to address the ball with a neutral spine. That's been a tough adjustment for me at address. It just feels awkward. And so I've been working it. I've been going to this simulator in my neighborhood, and I have my TPI workouts, which a mobility one and a power one. And I've been doing the mobility one mostly, but I've done the power one a couple times. It's been shocking. Just a small change has made a big difference. Shout out to Titleist. They have a culture of excellence that I really admire. I just find it fascinating that MLB, other industries, other professional sports leagues are looking to a golf company for these answers. And of course they're sponsoring this video, but I truly believe that. I just think it's worth acknowledging. Like I can't think of a lot of examples of another industry where like something very unrelated is like coming to them for the answer. Like that's always a good sign of like, man, you must be doing something right here.
Dr. Greg answered my question about why I come over the top in a very clear and succinct way. I just really appreciate when someone can tell a story with a bunch of data and like string it all together. And so, I don't know, he made it very easy to understand, and I feel like I feel like I can fix it. It doesn't feel like I got a lot of work to do, but it doesn't feel like a mountain I can't climb. This is great, man. I love it. This was a freaking awesome experience.